On this 2010 to 2015 Honda Civic with the 1.8 gas engine, P0847 is for the transmission fluid pressure switch B, the third clutch pressure switch, circuit low. In plain language, the PCM may be seeing that switch signal pulled low when it should not be. The vehicle may have shift complaints, a warning light, or it may only show the code during the right drive conditions. The broad fault areas can include the third clutch pressure switch signal, the switch circuit, wiring to the PCM, or PCM software and control. The key point on this one: treat P0847 as an electrical circuit problem, not a mechanical transmission failure. Before testing, record the freeze data and any onboard snapshot with the HDS so you know the conditions the code was captured under. Start with the signal check. Turn the ignition switch to on Roman 2, clear the DTC with the HDS, then look at the third pressure switch in the A/T data list while the transmission is not in third gear. The question is whether the third pressure switch reads OFF. If it does read OFF, move on and try to duplicate the fault. If it does not read OFF, the signal is considered okay at that point, and the next move is still to check the switch and circuit directly. To verify the problem, start the engine and warm it up to normal operating temperature, meaning the radiator fan comes on. Then test drive the vehicle in fourth gear for at least 2 seconds, and monitor the OBD status for P0847 in the HDS DTC's menu. If the HDS shows failed, the failure is duplicated, so continue with the switch check. If it shows passed, treat it as an intermittent condition for now. The system is okay at this time, and you are looking for an intermittent short to ground in the wire between the transmission fluid pressure switch B and the PCM. If it shows not completed, the monitor did not finish, so test drive again under the required conditions. Next, check transmission fluid pressure switch B, the third clutch switch. Turn the ignition switch to lock 0, disconnect the transmission fluid pressure switch B1P connector, then turn the ignition switch back to on Roman 2. With the connector disconnected, check the third pressure switch on the HDS in the A/T data list. If the third pressure switch reads OFF, replace transmission fluid pressure switch B, then go to repair verification. If it does not read OFF, the switch itself is considered okay, and the diagnosis moves to the OP3SW circuit. For the short-to-ground check, turn the ignition switch to lock 0, jump the SCS line with the HDS, and disconnect PCM connector B, the 49P connector. Keep the transmission fluid pressure switch B1P connector disconnected. With the ignition in lock 0, check for continuity on the OP3SW circuit between transmission fluid pressure switch B connector terminal No. 1, the BLK/RED wire, and body ground. If there is continuity, repair the short to ground in the OP3SW wire between the switch and the PCM, then verify the repair. If there is no continuity, the OP3SW wire is considered okay. At that point, update the PCM if it does not have the latest software, or substitute a known good PCM, then move to repair verification. Keep verification separate from the testing. Reconnect all connectors, turn the ignition switch to on Roman 2, and clear the DTC with the HDS. Start the engine, warm it up until the radiator fan comes on, then test drive in third gear for at least 2 seconds, followed by fourth gear for at least 2 seconds. Monitor the OBD status for P0847 in the HDS DTC's menu. If the status shows passed, troubleshooting is complete. If a known good PCM was substituted and the test passes, replace the original PCM. After that, check for other DTCs. If any are present, follow that code's diagnostic path. If the status shows failed, go back to the first signal check and recheck the path. If the PCM had been updated, substitute a known good PCM and check OBD status again. If the status shows not completed, meet the test condition and check OBD status again. The takeaway for P0847 is to prove the switch signal first, duplicate the code when possible, isolate the switch from the OP3SW wire, and only move toward PCM software or substitution after the switch and short-to-ground checks are handled. Keep it electrical, verify the monitor, and confirm the code stays gone. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.